big vision for this platform that is probably greater than what you think you see. And we could probably get into that a little bit tonight. But as I said, I kind of, threw up a meeting up here kind of in the spirit of Clubhouse where everybody, where we have systems where people onboard people. I really want to go find some soup. I really want to talk about one of these evenings about starting to think about onboarding people, especially. Hello, Dimity. Hey, Rev. Thank you for sponsoring me earlier, pal. No problem. I know it's fun to sponsor somebody, isn't it? It's really fun. It's way more fun than getting the money to give the money to somebody because it's just really cool. So you're very welcome. And so I want to host these things once in a while, and I want to talk about, I want to talk about things that are happening in the community. I want to have sometimes where, because Happs is doing this too, but I want to have some times where we're helping each other out with questions and we're helping each other out with, well, how do I market myself? And we're being realistic, right? I appreciate you. A word from Helen. Thank you. And let's talk about that right now. So, Helen just gave me what I've come to hear people say, and what I'm calling it is Helen just gave me a tip. She just tipped me 50 cents. She liked what I'm doing. She liked that I sponsored her. Maybe she likes what I'm saying. But Helen just gave me a tip. Oh, look how convenient that is. And then right behind her, Kimchi is an active sponsor. And I am able to get sponsorships because I'm a Happs VIP. It doesn't make me any better broadcaster. Trust me. It doesn't do a lot for me other than give me, the status to be able to get sponsors. And I think I have about 10 maybe or something like that, which I think is amazing that 10 people will give me money every month for talking because I love to talk. But Kim's an active sponsor. So you kind of got two pathways for income. And as Helen said last night when we were having this discussion, and I think it's a very important thing to say, is that, you shouldn't, hey, Sits, no, thank you, man, for the high word. Don't set unrealistic expectations for, becoming the next greatest thing. And I mean, don't get me wrong. If you want to be the next big influencer, do not let me, don't take my words to hold you back. But I've been on here for 8 weeks. I busted my ass for 2 years on Periscope. Had an algorithm issue with my Twitter that made it difficult for people to find me. Had an issue that, I'm a 54-year-old, soon to be 55-year-old man that, has a face for radio talking about politics that turns so many people off. But I did it for 2 years hard and solid. And in the last 3 weeks or so, I've busted my ass to get bookings of interesting people. I got lucky to have Brian Dunning on. I've got some very interesting people coming up in the next few weeks. And I'm working my ass off to do that because I love doing this. So for me, I want to ask people for sponsorships. I mean, I'm putting in 10, 15 hours a week to bring guests to this show. I'm not bitching. It's what I want to do. I love doing it. But if you guys could give me a few $100 a month, because I could be spending that time making more money than that, if I go out and hustle some clients, because I do consulting work, but the market's pretty tough right now, and we all could use a little extra money. So I'm not going to be shy about it. But I really wanted, Helen really, I think, did a good job in informing of making sure we don't set unrealistic expectations. The tips, the awards are unique. They're really cool. They're really fun. And this conversation is open for everybody. I'm not going to delete it at the end, or, it's not a secret club or anything like that. Anybody can watch this. I've got it going out on all my platforms. But the fact of the matter is that, there's some things you can do to help increase the chances that you'll get some tips. Most of those things are having good programming, but some of them are saying, hey, we have a tip system here. I would love to get some tips. We call them awards. I also, this is what I do because I really believe in it. I know Helen Wallace is in here. I know Sid Snow is in here. I know Kimchi is in here. I know Dimity is in here. I know that Eleanor is in here, and I don't know who else is in here because I don't have any way to tell, but I know there's other people watching, and all of those people that are on the platform can get tips, and all of those people are thrilled when they get tips. I would think, not to speak for all of you, because I think it's really cool to get a tip. So you got the tip level, tip away. You need the coin system. We need the currency flowing on here. We need the reward system. There's a lot of psychological. Be right back, Helen. That's fine. That's great. There's a lot of psychology behind all these things can work, but the reality is nobody's going to give you anything unless you ask for it. I mean, unless you are Serena or Lisa Sansuchi. I love her. I don't know how to say her last name. You're watching from Komoto, Japan. Great to see you, Daniel. Olivia Tai or Bobby Bicker or the folks that do the frameable faces. I mean, if you've got something that is compelling for people to watch, and people will just automatically give you a sponsorship. Awesome. I love those folks, and I'm getting to know them, and it's really neat. And I can learn a lot from them, but even they would, I suspect, have some kind of mention of the sponsorships. Maybe some of them don't. Hey, Rev FRM from the Space Coast. Hey, yeah, that's right. And maybe some do and some don't, but maybe, some just magically get, sponsorships because they have great programming. But I don't want anybody to tell you on this network that you shouldn't be asking for tips and you shouldn't be asking for sponsorships, because that's bullshit. You're here because you like it, but you're also working. This isn't Periscope. This isn't a place to come and be a dumbass and do stupid shit or be offensive or whatever. This platform has serious guidelines that I think for the most part, Happs is pretty good at adhering to. Like anything, people are going to disagree with that statement, and that's fine. And if you want to bring it to me, we're not gonna hold back on stuff here. We're going to talk about what we talk about. But I'm also not like the boss of Happs. I'm doing this because I want to offer this to people, a little bit of my knowledge. And I'll tell you what, today I got a sponsorship from Ed. I can look it up on my phone because Ed came into our conversation. Helen was there. Ed came into our conversation, and I was trying to encourage us, Serena. Hello, Calgary. Hello, Vera Hari. Was trying to encourage Serena to, ask for support, because my God, if you haven't seen Serena E, she's an amazing musician. And she was literally like writing a song on my little afternoon mental health wellness check-in that she had been working on. And it was fantastic. It was phenomenal. She's just an amazing singer. And for God's sakes, she's got a product, and people are going to buy it or they're not. But I don't care if you're just on here for fun, and you're just doing it because you love it, because that's why I'm here. And I work hard at it, and I've got some money invested in it, and I want tips because I want you to show me that you like what I'm doing. Don't freaking tip me if I suck. Don't sponsor me if I suck. But if I'm doing a good job, give me a tip. I mean, there's no business. Ed pointed it out. The airlines, when you're getting off the plane, they ask you to come back. You know what I mean? Everybody's always asking you for monies. And I've just heard people on here discouraging people, saying, well, you're just a small, little broadcaster. Don't be like rude to people and ask them for money. You're not fucking shilling for money. You're getting a reward, an award, a sponsorship for something that you deserve because the person in the audience deems that so. So ask. If you want to know how to ask, we can do that here too, but it's real easy. It's having the courage to do it. And Brian Dunning was just on my show. Brian Dunning told us in the show that he was approached by Patreon, much to his chagrin in some ways, because Brian was doing micropayments a decade before. Well, I don't know if he was doing it first, but several years before the idea of Patreon even came around, Patreon went to Brian Dunning and said, "We want to bring you on as part of this. We want to, we want you to invest in this, be a part of this." You know, you can watch the episode if you want to hear more details than that. But Patreon, I have a Patreon. Um, I think you could find it if you do Revolution McInnes or at News for Left. I haven't paid much attention to it. I get like $50 a month from it. I love those people. It's just amazing. Anybody will give me $50 a month for yakking my jaw. But it's there. The system is here. You deserve a tip as much as anybody else. I know some people, are probably wondering why there are sponsorship level and then tip level. I can't answer that question. I think you can ask that question of Pablo and Peter when they do their their daily question and answer sessions if you want. I'll be honest, I don't know if they need to tell you or if you have a right to know. It's their platform, it's their money, it's their prerogative, but I will tell you this. They are the most open and gracious, hardworking people that I've ever met in business in my life. And I'll be 55 in April. So this is a hell of an awesome platform. But there is a 2-tier system here. And you need to, if you've got a VIP, if you're in VIP status, you're going to approach this differently than if you don't have VIP status. Clearly, if you have VIP status, it would be awesome, wouldn't it, to have 500 people giving you $10 a month? Wouldn't that be amazing? I'm sure there's probably somebody on this platform that is doing that. I would love to do that. That would be really cool. But I love what I'm doing right now. I've not been asleep for weeks because I'm trying to book shows on here. I literally need to go to bed, but I'm not. I'm exhausted, but this has come up in the past few days, and I just felt like it needed to be addressed. I'm sure I'll get a lot of hate mail, but whatever. May I assist you with the dating episode? Of course you can. And I guess Helen's been doing it for a while. So there are 2 tiers here. As I said, there's the tip tier, the awards tier, which is the coolest thing ever. If you've got it, if you've made it, if you've survived the COVID, if you are doing well, if you're watching this and you've got some effing money, go drop a freaking hamster on somebody and give them $40. If you can afford it, go do it for 10 people. Do it when you're on the show to see just how freaking happy they'll be. But I tell you what, go give somebody $1 a month that is on the sponsorship level, and they'll be happy too, because most of the creators on here are by no means getting rich. And I love all the creators on here that are, making a good living or whatever. I don't know what anybody makes on here, but I'm sure, there are people that are doing pretty well. And I think it's awesome because they're talented as hell and people believe in them and people want to give them money. And that's how this system works. I'm a fucking anti-capitalist. I hate capitalism, but I live in a capitalist system. And so I'm going to use it for what it is. And so, Hey Badges is here. So I just wanted to, give anybody the opportunity to come up here, ask some questions. I'm a salesman. I've been in sales. I've managed multi-million-dollar, corporations. I know how to do it. I know how to do sales. I know how to manage things. You need some help producing. You're new. I'll help you produce. I'm helping 3 or 4 people right now to produce some stuff. And, you have a question, just come to me, DM me, on Twitter, and then we'll get you my WhatsApp number or whatever, so you can get a hold of me all the time. And I'm happy to help because I believe in this network and I want this network to just fucking blossom. But if you want to come up, if you have any questions, just, chat in the comments there. You can come up if you've got, some questions about the platform and the way that revenue is paid. I mean, I'm not going to be able to answer that. I mean, I can tell you, you have to get $200 in the account before they'll do before they'll release the money to you. And I know people are like, well, why isn't that $50? Well, by my reasoning, it's probably because it costs money to give you that money. It costs labor. It costs maybe some fees, whatever. I don't know what the costs are. It's none of my business, but but it does. If we were paying out everybody at $50, I'm sure there's a reason and a legitimate reason, and this is a business, for goodness sakes. But if you get $200, you get a payout. I believe they paid it out to me in Venmo. I know they did, but I also heard that they can pay it out in PayPal. If you're making $200 a month, you got to pay your taxes on that, and it's a 30% hit. It's a 30 or 40% hit. It's a big hit when it's like direct like that. So again, these folks that might be making a little bit more money, um, Happs takes 30%, I believe, of that 200, and to absorb the fees and to make some money. Obviously, they sell the coins at a premium, because they got to pay the bills. I have no idea what the founders here have in mind for a revenue stream. Not my above my pay grade. I have no idea. I can't figure out how they can make this work on tips and sponsorships, but maybe you can. I'm no economist or whatever, but I mean, maybe I hope that's what it is and that it can work, because all I want to do is for this network to survive, and I'm here to help you pitch yourself, get the courage to pitch yourself. Um, Serena, it's not fair to speak for somebody, but so I will just say in general that people get very nervous or very shy or feel like they don't deserve some accolades. There can be a lot of reasons. There can be a lot of reasons for that. But you kind of need to just set your expectations, and then, do what I'm going to do right now, which is, hey, Helen, do what I'm going to do right now, which is, if you like what I'm talking about, give me a tip. If you like what I do every day, and you like the quality of guests that I'm bringing you, or you like my friend Helen over there, sponsor her, give her a tip, do something. You go into a room right now and tip her. The tips are always available on her stuff, and she does, my God, she does so much fun stuff with music, and I'm bringing in these new musicians, and I just think there's a natural point for Helen and I to do something together sometime.
Synergy. Yeah.
Yeah, a synergy that we haven't even talked about. But I
Yep.
feel like Helen's in here, and I'm gonna be quiet. I'm sure Helen is here probably because she's my friend to support me in this endeavor, and she may have some different ideas than I do. So
I
welcome,
missed
Helen, to our.
Hi. I missed a little bit about what you were saying because I was actually in someone else's calling when you pinged me.
Oh, no
So
problem.
so I popped in for a split second to say hi, but I've missed what you've discussed.
But I've said, well, I can recap it for you. So
Please.
one of the first thing I was saying was, because I thought you brought up a really good point yesterday, and it's good to repeat this stuff too, because people are going to be coming in at various points. And this is our first Happs Creators Income Streams conversation. I want to have these little town halls every once in a while. I don't have to host them all. Other people can. We can coordinate things. You can do things organically. But what I was saying, Helen, was that, because I think you're right. I think you have to have realistic expectations of what this platform can do for you. Do not let me discourage you. If you want to be the next big thing, go for it. You know what I mean? Like, go for it. I definitely want you to do that, and I'll help you, with producing it and giving you some tips, whatever. But I don't have expectations that I might make more than a few $100s a month. And I say make. I'm telling you, I'm spending 8 to 15 hours a week trying to book interesting people on here, and it could be a full-time job, and I don't expect to get full-time pay back for it. But I'm working hard for you, and Helen's working hard for you, and she loves doing it. None of us would be doing it if we didn't love it. And I say, from the most popular person on here to the least, you can't do this if you don't love it, because people will know that you're faking. So, you got to put your heart into it. I was also telling people it's kind of a 2-tiered structure. There's a tip structure where it's just nice to get a little kudos. You like what you're saying, and people give you 10, 15 cents. They can give you $75. They can give you $40, but most of the time you're going to get 15 cents. That little bit of coinage actually has some, there's some predictability in it. There's some, they know what their numbers are. These guys know everything that happens on here. So it's an ecosystem that they can fund and feed and stuff, but it's here for tips. It's here to make people's day. It's here to give people a few bucks. It's here to be, fun and exciting.
It's more like a morale boosting thing rather than a monetary value.
Exactly. Don't think about the money.
Obviously, it does add up. Obviously, it does accumulate.
Right. But it's a morale. It's a thank you. It's like, wow, you're awesome. Yeah. I like that. Amazing interview. I got an amazing interview tonight. I think it's 75 cents, but it's an amazing interview. That's what's cool. Yeah. Because I just interviewed.
The design of the words is very fun. There's a lot of it's a fun element to it.
Well, I like the namaste because I always say namaste.
It makes me laugh every time I see that. Yeah,
exactly. And I got a namaste the other day, but I just got to Brian and I are the same age, so it sounds funny maybe, but I just got to interview one of my personal heroes tonight because of this platform, who's the host of Skeptoid at Skeptoid on Twitter, skeptoid.com out there. And I was literally at some point, I'm not going to lie, I was about to cry because I was like, I'm doing a Clubhouse with Brian every Tuesday too. That started about 3 weeks ago. And seriously, I'm going to cry right now because I'm fucking working with Brian fucking Dunning.
Yeah, nobody on this platform. You're so happy. You can see it in your face.
Yeah. That's very cool. Nobody on this platform may even know who Brian Dunning is, but like, because of this platform and because you guys support me and people like Helen and people like Kim and Kimchi and Eleanor, I'm having a blast. I'm going to shut up and literally go get something to drink. I've been talking for 3 freaking hours, and I'm going to let Helen talk for a minute. I got the headphones on, so if you have a question and stuff, I'll be right back too. But take it away, Helen.
Get some Kleenex as well for those weepy eyes.
Yes, tears for those weepy eyes. I know. I will be right back, and whether you want to or not, Helen, you're in charge.
Oh, great! Thanks. No pressure. How are y'all doing, folks? I don't know who's here and who's not. The last comment came in a few minutes ago.
I don't either. And let me make you a director. Hang on. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Not that I'm planning on directing anything. But
I know, but in case there's a fire or something, there you go.
All right. Shucks, thanks. I'm privileged. Who's in? How's it going? What have you been doing with your day? Let me catch up with the comments. What have I missed? Dun. Comments are actually quite quiet. Were you all sitting there having a wee snoozy? What's happening? Nobody's got anything to say. I find that very hard to believe. Slurp. So, hi Kim Carolina, hi Kimchi, hi Badges. Shucks, thanks Badges. You're getting your coffee fee. You get yourself some coffee fee, my darling. It's not quite the same without it. Hi Harry Morton, hi Vera, hi Daniel. Thank you for all the awards or Revs awards. All very kind. I don't really have very much more to add to the conversation other than what Rev's already said. Hi, Brenda. What I would say is thank you, Rev, for sponsoring me earlier today. That was very much appreciated. Yeah. And I'll tell you why it's very much appreciated, because not a lot of people know this because I don't really discuss it. I know that I talk a lot about creatives and their lack of income because of the COVID situation, but I don't very often talk about my own situation. I do talk about the fact that I do my radio show to promote musicians who are perhaps unsigned, and I feel that musicians aren't supported. That's why I'm always telling people to buy music rather than to consume it or stream it. But not a lot of people know my own story. I am a creative. My full-time job is photography. I came back I went to Australia for a couple of weeks, came back at the end of March, and everything was locked down and cancelled. I lost all my wedding bookings. Well, they all postponed because there were no weddings. The Edinburgh Fringe was cancelled, which is my August is my busiest month. All the gigs that I would normally photograph, because I'm a live music photographer, all the comedy gigs, everything I lost everything. I lost all the jobs. I manage a band. We only have one gig in the diary that's confirmed for this year, and that might not even go ahead because we don't know what the situation will be in August, even though it's an outdoor gig. So the thing is, what people don't know is I am a single parent and I do have a mortgage, and I have had no source of income since March. This is not a woe is me. There are hundreds of thousands of people in the same position that I'm in, so I never mention it. I am self-employed, so I get no help from the government. Your sponsorship meant a lot. Today in your conversation, someone said they tried to sponsor me and there was no clickable link. And I got very frustrated because I haven't had any sponsorships. And that's why I was saying in the conversation about not to have an expectation. Just because you've got a VIP badge doesn't necessarily mean to say that someone will sponsor you. It's not don't have that expectation. And then when someone said they couldn't click through the link, I'm thinking, well, maybe the reason I don't have any, it's not that I'm expecting them, but maybe the reason I don't have any is because maybe the link isn't working and, people have maybe tried to and haven't been able to. So my point, I'll get to the point. I don't know what the point is. The point is that everything's appreciated because there has been no source of income. The radio stuff, I don't get paid for that either. And I do it out of the love of music. I do want to promote other people who I consider to be more talented than myself. But there are hours and hours of work that go into those playlists. Although it's a 2-hour show, it takes hours to record it and it takes hours to put, to choose songs. Because I'm constantly seeking that out. Most of it's new music that, it's unsigned artists that, you've got to search for that stuff. And okay, that last week's show is number 26 in the global electro Mixcloud chart. It's good to know people are listening. But all that does is tell me that, okay, some of those bands might have been heard by some ears that wouldn't normally hear them. It doesn't pay me. Okay, views and likes and follows, and that doesn't pay my mortgage. So it doesn't really matter how much someone has chosen to sponsor me per month. The fact that they see something that they feel is worth investing in means something. It means something. So it was appreciated when I got a wee notification that said Revolution McInnes is, and I was like, oh shit, I'm not in a financial position to sponsor them back. But but you know what I mean? Yeah. Like there's that thing of, oh, but he deserves it. He deserves a sponsorship, but I'm not in a financial position to sponsor anybody at the moment because I've had no income come. I'm surviving on credit cards. I've had no income come in since March. I don't think people understand the frustration of. Sorry. Give me a wee sec.
That's okay. Yeah, it's okay. Rev, might this be a good time to tell them about the exciting stuff coming up for your show? Of course it is, because we're going to promote the show. So, wow, thanks, Kim. Like, I can't even think who's coming up. We have, oh man, she's going to be like, hang on. Let's see if we can get her. She'll like, oh, hang on. Let's see. Hang on. Anyway, we had Kaylee LeGrand, Revolution. Her name is Kaylee, but it looks like Kelly when I read it. Kaylee LeGrand last night. Seriously, I don't care if you don't like me. I don't care if you think I suck at interviewing. Watch that freaking interview. It was good. I'm not pumping my ego here. It was just good. She's fun. We had fun. And at about 2 hours and 20 minutes, there's a really big surprise because I celebrate my daughter's end of her 18th birthday on the show, and it is literally touched my heart. And then tonight, Brian Dunning again, just the ultimate. I've had the best 2 days practically of my life, and I've done some pretty cool shit in my life in the last 2 days because of this network and because of all of you. So I appreciate it too. I'm gonna have to start crying and go off screen too, and then it'll be blank. So Anna is on here. She's ANG _Gomez, I think. Hang on. Last night with Callie, yeah, that was great, wasn't it, Brenda? It's ANG underscore. I'll find her and then I'll put her up on here. I'll find her in a second. I'm gonna have to get a hold of her, see if she can come on. She's doing a documentary on homelessness. She's out in LA. She might, I don't know, she might be working still. But let me see if I can get a hold of her. Actually I have to find her and send her an invite anyway. So we have Anna Sevilla coming up. As I said, she's doing a documentary on homelessness. She's out in LA. She is like insanely fun and funny and just really, really cool. And we have Davcat next Wednesday. If you don't know who Davcat is, I don't know where you've been, because I told some people today that I told Davcat herself. So Davcat and I were on the phone. I did make a soft announcement today in my profile that says the following. Let me see if I can find it. It says, "Come on now, roll down here." I love promoting myself, you know. I hate it, but I can do it. Actually, ... Actually, the rumor I heard was that Davcat is coming to Happs and co-hosting with that dude from Chicago on Thursday nights. So Davcat is coming to Happs. She's been at Happs. We talked on the phone today. Kim Carolina suggested we do a show together. I thought it was the coolest thing, and so we're gonna do a show together, and that's gonna just be an absolute whole lot of fun. She's gonna be here every evening, and I'm not kidding. The best political mind, bar none. There's nobody on television. There's nobody that I've ever known that knows American politics, that knows how our system works, and can present it in an accessible kind of way more than Davcat does. So I'm like so stoked to be working with her. Aaron Haber and I are going to be doing a political, hopefully some comedy stuff too, on Tuesday nights. And then Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays are the big interview. Or if we don't have anybody to interview, then we hang out with our friends, which is fun. Welcome back, Ellen.
Sorry about that, pal. I just needed a wee moment. I don't often get emotional, but when it hits, it hits.
When you do, yes.
Yeah, when I do. The Aaron Haber thing will be great. I think used two together will be an awesome combination, awesome team.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be fun.
You're both political, and you're both of the same political bent, but you're both also hilariously funny. So, you know.
Good. Thank you. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. I've completely forgotten what we were talking about, but
doesn't even matter now, because I you know, no, we're just hanging out now, and you know what? I'm not even gonna. Oh, I'll feel bad. But I'm not gonna do it because I can't be on here much longer because I do have to go to bed. But so let's give it another 15 minutes or so.
Bed? What's that?
Yeah, I know. I know. That doesn't mean I'm going to sleep. This means I'm going to be in bed.
You're going to sit and listen to Clubhouse for another 10 hours while you're lying down.
You know what? I actually haven't listened to Clubhouse for like 2 or 3 days because I've been talking to people to book them. You know, like I've been I've been talking to people a lot, but I got to get back on because I need more leads. You know,
be careful you don't burn yourself out.
Oh no, yeah, no, thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that a lot. No,
it can become you know, the drive is there, but then you know you don't want to crash.
No, I appreciate that. Yeah, no, I pulled myself back. That's like I said, I haven't really been on Clubhouse the past couple of days because it's you know, I had to pull myself back. But it's just the greatest networking tool in the history of humanity, as far as I'm concerned. And if you want to know how to meet people on Clubhouse, let me tell you how to do it. Be respectful. Don't be stupid. If you get on stage, behave the way that they want you to. Ask if you have a question. Ask an interesting question. You can ask a stupid question because sometimes we need to ask.
I don't know if I'm capable of any of those things.
Well, right. We'll keep you out of Clubhouse. But the but what you do is you make some connections, and then you just. Everybody's usually happy to let you slide into their DMs, you know, I'm just having fun there. You ask them, hey, I'm doing this little broadcast I've got I've got a little bit of a loyal following, and I really like what you set up there. I'd like to have a further conversation about it. And honestly, just about everybody said yes. Um, um, I don't know if I've had anybody say no.
Touch
and
wood.
I'm certainly,
You don't want to jinx it.
I'm not, I'm not, I'm not asking, Brad Pitt yet, but I mean, I'm not afraid to ask anybody. So just ask, just be respectful. You know how to be, just be a person and ask. If you want to, like I said, we can talk about anything we want for the last 10 minutes, but if you need any help, if you don't know how the broadcast studio works, if you don't know how to multicast, if you don't know how to ask people, to maybe give you a tip, if you don't know how to schedule a program, just hit me up with a DM on Twitter. Happy to help. I'm sure Helen's happy to help if you have a problem or question.
I think the thing about this community is that most people are willing to roll their sleeves up and help out. There are people who are specifically and particularly helpful. I'm thinking like Yassine, who's in all the broadcasts helping people all the time. There are people, usually if they've got a top comment or badge on their profile, they tend to be in amongst it, helping
means
people
they need to get a life.
What's that?
Did I say that? I said it means they need to get a life. Did I say that out loud?
No, but you know what I mean. Like
I do know what you mean. I'm a top canner all the time. Yeah.
I mean, the Happs team themselves are incredibly helpful, but
right.
not only the Happs team. Other members of the community are usually willing to just roll their sleeves up and help you out.
And we should, right? I mean, we can't expect them to be there everywhere.
No, definitely. But what I would like to you touched on something there, Rev, that I'd like to just double back onto, and that was the thing about asking people for money. Now, I don't know if you missed that comment earlier in your broadcast today, but there is I wanted to draw attention to the fact that there is a cultural difference. In America, money talks. There's a tipping culture generally, and people are maybe a little bit more brash when it comes to talking about money. In Europe, it's seen as bad manners. We don't talk about, income or...
Yeah.
So it makes it harder for people in the UK and Europe to ask people for money.
That makes a lot of sense.
It's almost frowned upon. And I don't know if anybody actually picked up on that. I was having that conversation because it was mostly all Americans except Serena. And obviously Serena was saying she finds it hard to ask for money. But that's not necessarily to do with... I don't think it's necessarily to do with feeling that you don't have the worth or you don't know your own worth. It's more a case of discussing money generally. Certainly for me, discussing money generally it's bad manners. I would never ask someone what they earn. I would never ask their income. It's just that's bad manners. So it would never occur to me to really say, look, I'm doing this thing, I'm putting all these hours in, blah 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 blah, and tip me. It just wouldn't. It should be, for me, it should be, if someone's enjoying the content, they pay for any other form of entertainment. You pay for your Netflix, you pay for your telly, whatever. You pay for every other form of entertainment, and you spend hours on this platform. And if you're being entertained, then you it's not that you should tip your broadcaster, but if you have any respect for them at all, dropping them a 15-cent high award, do you know what I mean? It's more a case of acknowledging the fact that you're enjoying their content, but the broadcaster really shouldn't have to ask.
Well, I know this is where I'm going to push back on you, because all of those places you mentioned aggressively to the tunes of billions of dollars are asking you for money. Hollywood is begging you to give them money to come to their movie. The McDonald's is begging you to come into their store. This is the only kind of thing where I think where people are like, no, you shouldn't ask them. But people have to be trained. They have to understand that there is a tipping system here. I said money and I was incorrect. I should have said, if you want, some help on how to, get some awards, how to get some awards for other people, because I do that almost every time. I rarely just ask for myself. I usually make sure that I'm asking for my fellow creators.
No, you're really, really good at it, and you're absolutely right, and you're respectful about it. You're not like Bob Geldof, give me the fucking money, give me it now. Like you're but we also have come from Periscope, where it was almost frowned upon. There was no tipping culture on Periscope. Okay, they introduced super hearts, but then again, the vast majority of broadcasters couldn't even claim them.
Yeah, I didn't even know what that was. Right.
Twitch has a culture of tipping and has been around a lot longer, but most of us haven't come from Twitch. Most of us have come from Periscope. So we're coming from a culture where it's like you broadcast and you give the content, but you do it for free. And I just feel like it's difficult. I think it's easier for Americans to ask for money. Generally, I know that's a massive generalized sweeping statement. I'm sorry if anybody in America is offended by that, but I do think it's seen as a much more natural topic of conversation there than it is here.
Yeah. Oh, no, I agree 100%. Well, no, I agree because you're telling me how it is in Europe, and I believe that because I know there are lots of cultures that, money is never talked about. Kim Carolina said she never, still to this day, doesn't know what her father, or as she calls him, her daddy made. And in the South, that's just frowned upon. But I certainly don't want to make anybody do anything they don't want to do. But I also think, I know. But I also think that we need to train the community on what the two levels are, what they're about, what your expectations are. Again, if you want to be the next, I don't know, Jen from the block or something. I don't know these influencers. I don't know who they are. I don't pay attention to that stuff. It's not interesting to me. But if you want to be the next big thing, man, I'm right here to support you. If you're good, if you've got talent, that's great. And if you just naturally have people that will sponsor you because you're so amazing, that's awesome. I mean, I'm all here for it. But there's some people that are going to be working hard here that it wouldn't occur to people that, oh, you mean I can sponsor them too?
Yeah.
Because I'm sponsoring that guy on YouTube for $25 a month. And that guy on YouTube has been asking you for money on other platforms with commercials, whatever they do. I don't know what they do. But I mean, they're spending money to make money. You have to spend money. You have to spend a resource to get something back. Our resource is that we love what we're doing. We hope you like what you're doing. I'm not asking anybody to give me a tip or a sponsorship if I suck. If you like what I'm doing,
true. That's right. But you're putting a lot of work in, and people obviously enjoy the content, or they wouldn't be here.
Exactly, so, and that's what I love that there are people here. Like I say, it blows my mind that
that's why I've been here for, I think it's 68 days or something now.
So you're a few weeks more than me. Yeah,
it's over 2 months, and today was my first sponsorship, and it was you. And it was like, it's hard to explain it, but just the realization that, okay, maybe what I'm doing is appreciated by someone.
Oh, hell yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I think that's the thing that the viewers don't understand. It might look effortless. It might look completely flawless. I even said today in the roundtable conversation that I don't have much structure to the chats that we have. That doesn't mean that I'm not skilled in it. I do. The skill that I have is that, and I like to think, and Rev, the first time you met me, you came into my broadcast. What happened?
I think we talked for 2.5 hours or something, didn't we?
2.5 hours, because my skill is that I make people feel comfortable. Not everyone can do that. And this isn't me tooting my horn or saying, I'm great, I'm this and that other. But I do have a skill that not everybody has. And because I make it look easy, doesn't mean that it is. Not everybody can do that. Just because I'm not structuring something and I've got a list of questions that I'm asking people, and I'm, it's just because it's not a formal format, because I make it look like a chit chat, chin wag amongst. I mean, I interviewed a member of a band for radio on Zoom. It wasn't on here; it was a Zoom call, and my radio show is 2 hours long. And in amongst that conversation, there has to be some songs that we're discussing put in amongst it, cut in later. We chatted for like nearly 3 hours. That was just the chat part. And then, of course, the music's got to be added in. So that would be a 4-hour-long conversation. And I still don't think he was ready to hang up the call. I think he was still ready to talk for longer. So not everybody can do that. Not everybody can sit and talk to somebody for nearly 3 hours and then still want the conversation to continue. The fact that people... It's hard to explain it. I don't think people see value in that because they maybe think it's easier than it is. Does that make sense?
Oh, totally.
I feel like I'm not being particularly articulate. I'm not
well,
vocal.
I think what you're saying. Go ahead, Eleanor.
I think you are amazing. I am someone that's very like hyper vigilant all the time, stressed out, anxious. I go into your scopes and your voice and everything. It brings me like down, like in a good way, not like down, but like
Eleanor,
from being like this to being like down here. Like I feel like I could breathe. You're probably someone I should listen to like at night when I need to calm down and like get ready for bed, like because you have this magical quality. It's just who you are. I think
that
it's
means
just
a lot.
naturally who you are, and you mean a lot to me. Like, and I was listening while I was making soup, and I heard you leave, and I was like, oh, I just wanted to like run up here, like come in here and give you a freaking hug because I feel that too. Like I feel that too, and like just yeah. I wanted you to just come in and validate everything that you are because you are seriously wonderful. And you do deserve sponsorships and tips for that because that is a very special gift that not many people have. Like, so I just wanted to tell you that.
And now a public service message from I don't want to harp on it, but I do love a good chin wag. I like the idea. I like the term chin wag. I will say,
what is it? What is chin wag?
I gotta mute you again, Eleanor. It's the background noise. I couldn't hear myself. So when you talk, unmute and try to mute yourself back. She's the kind of manager every creative performer should have, but of course she's a Wallace, right? I know. Hey, Cosmic Rose, I love you. She has the gift of being able to observe, assess the problem, solve in one session about what a creative needs to do to produce. Yes, and it is a skill. Some people are naturally really good at it, but it still takes work. I love interviewing people, and I think, I know I've seen it in the comments that people have been enjoying them. And like Helen, I've been in media. I went to film school. I've been in media or been an activist, a political activist or an environmental activist or a racial justice activist for my whole adult life. So I've got this, ability to talk and talk well and talk competently in the sense that people can understand what I'm saying, and I'm good at it, but I have to work at it. I've gotten better since I've been on this platform. I've had to work on interestingly playing around with different mannerisms. I'm just fascinated with different responses and things like that. So I'm just having a whole lot of fun on here. Some folks only flap their gums, but others truly have the gift of gab. Very good, Rose. So like I said, it's a lot of work. I think what I'm trying to say really badly is today, for the first time, it felt appreciated. So thank you. Of course, you're very welcome. I like I said, I gave, I don't have a lot of money, but I got a little extra, and I gave, actually I got extra today from Ed. So I'm literally paying it forward. And because Ed gave us some money when he came into the room today. And I'm glad it was there. And I tipped a couple of 3 people today, and I did it because I really respect and appreciate them and what they do, and because I kind of broke I knew that they probably hadn't had any sponsorships, so I don't want to say the word because there is no such thing as virginity, right? You people get that, right? It's a construct. It's put upon women, so I'm not going to say I broke the cherry, but I did. I put the first one in there. That's going to make it easier for the next one to come. It's just some weird law of physics. But only revolution can bring up the fact that there is no virginity and tipping all in the same conversation. So there you go. But yeah, culture of the community, the reason that I got on here, and I do need to get going, but the reason that I got on here is I am lucky that I'm getting a chance to know everybody on this platform that comes across my feed. I think we're all in the feed. I don't know how the algorithm works, but like I feel like everybody that's in my orbit and I'm in their orbit, like we're the bigger community here, right? We're all, we're not hidden in some little corner. Some of us lurk in the corners because we want to, and we play craps games in the corners over there once in a while, and we eat high fat food because our spouses would be pissed if they caught us. But so we, I think I'm talking, to the wider Happs community. I was actually, I didn't know if I would get any. Well, I'm not going to say that. Pop that or smash that sausage. Oh, pop that cherry. Oh, great. This is a rule in this broadcast. You're not allowed to put something in the comments that then I'm not going to want to have read because I don't read the comments before I read the comments. Thank you, Rose. Just kidding. Pop that cherry or smash that sausage. I love it. Because sex is natural. Sex is fun. George Michael was a little wrong when he said sex is best when it's one-on-one. It is best when it's one-on-one. But if you want to go 2-on-3 or 5-on-9, whatever you want to do, have a good time. Sex is sex. And man, I love doing it. Anybody wants to do it, I'll give you my address. That's the only way you get my address either. You could get my phone number for $15 a month sponsorship, but you want my address, you got to be bringing the sex. All right. So anyway, I can't erase this. I hate that now. Like this is such an important topic. And I'm like, oh God, I got to erase this episode. Did I just say that? Oh my God. I'm so stupid. Anyway, I generally always say what I mean, though sometimes I do stupid shit. But
why can't I find where to sponsor someone?
On their profile.
Yeah, I'm on their profile.
Well, there's been a problem with the mobile app that Pablo let us know that. Okay. It should be available on the desktop. So, but anyway, again, if you've listened to this all the way through, I think I've made it clear that, anybody can have one of these Happs creator income stream conversations or whatever I might call the next one. I've learned a lot from Clubhouse. Oh, by the way, the Android update has been released. There were days, my friends, we thought they'd never end. Oh, those were the days, Rose. So the don't make me sing that whole theme song. That's so ironic because Archie Bunker is so racist, but it's racist with the intent of showing he's racist. So that's a show I could still watch. You have to view the full profile in order to see the button for the sponsor.
Yeah, I got it.
So thank you, Badges. So, but I've learned a lot from Clubhouse in the last 12 days or so. I've learned a lot about the culture of the community. I've learned a lot about what I believe makes it work. And I've learned some things that I think I'm going to start to try to do as a practice on here. And that is, Eleanor, so I can't hear. Thanks, kid. As a practice on here, one of the things that, and I got poo-pooed about this, but I mean, I don't care. I can put whatever the hell I want to on here within limits. But I love the idea of a welcome party for people on Clubhouse. I'll explain what it is a little bit. It's actually a dying thing because Clubhouse has gotten so big. Hey, it's Hump Day with Rev. You got me started. Sorry, no, go ahead. Don't get me started, Rose. It's after midnight. Wow, we can have a lot of fun. Oh, that's sweet, Eleanor. That was really nice. Cool. See how easy it is for the second one. I don't speak for anybody but myself. As I said, I'm getting lucky to just meet a ton of people on this platform, and it's because I'm out there trying to promote this thing as much as I can because I want this to stay. Um, does Happs? Yeah, I'm certainly not going to answer for them, but let's see if I've heard. Does Happs have any plans to make a standalone program that does not need Chrome on a PC? Now that's interesting. I actually thought of that idea. I mean, I thought the same thing like about a month ago because I think that their broadcast studio on the browser is absolutely amazing. What they're able to pull off. I mean, you got to know what a resource hog this is. I've got a 10-year-old MacBook that I've had rebuilt once or twice. But it is like, thank God it's a Mac because a 10-year-old PC wouldn't even be able to freaking run my watch. But this Mac still chugs along. And it's a huge resource hog. Like I have to shut everything off because the browser just takes so many resources. But that's because it's doing so effing much. I mean, it is broadcasting this image back. So I don't know what the advantage is, Harry, to Zoom having all of that. I would think the advantage to Zoom having all of that in a standalone app would be pretty tremendous in terms of the way that it interrelates and reacts with the internet. I'd have to really think about it to think if that were true. I'm somebody on here who can leave me a comment and we can come talk about that sometime. But I think the advantage to the browser and being tied into Chrome is that people don't have to download a program. And because of the Internet of Things and all of this, I think Happs is in the right direction, which is to be able to make programs that are sleek and fast and well made. And they, wow, Brenda, way to go! She didn't come on to do that. She, exactly, but way to go! Keep it up, everybody. Call your mothers, your fathers, get them to watch your show, and when they like it, they'll do it too. So I think it's a good strategy because even though computers are getting smarter and faster and bigger, people don't want to go on separate apps, right? They're very browser oriented, and I'm just talking about generalizations here. So I think it's a good strategy. That said, it would be cool if they had a standalone app. I don't know how hard that would be to port it to that. To do that, it'd probably be easier for me to run it on my computer as well. But I like what they're doing. Again, I don't speak for Happs. I don't represent anybody at Happs. Happs will answer any question you want. If I can't answer a question, I'll refer you to somebody that can, or I'll figure out how to do it. But that said, as a bit of a disclaimer, this platform is like, there's a purpose to the platform. I mean, it's a public purpose. It's to transform journalism, literally. It's not to bring some people over from Periscope who, want to be the next fucking dumbass that, does some kind of stunt or, whatever the hell these people do on YouTube that make all this money. And no, that's unfair. They have talent. They really do. I don't like their talent. It's not interesting to me, but don't get me wrong. They work their asses off. So I take that back. I'm sorry. I noticed you never look at the camera. Maybe you lower it a bit. Yeah, that's intentional. Other guy. I appreciate that. Yeah. See, then I got to look up, but it's because my face looks slimmer with the camera above. And I don't like the way I look when the camera's right in my face because it's not a fucking 70 millimeter lens pushed back far enough that it accentuates the way my face looks. Or, I look pretty good under, I look good under 70 millimeter. So it's just personal choice. I actually wonder if it's if it's detrimental to the viewer, like if it's disconcerting on a subconscious level, because I'm not doing the eyeball thing with you, but yeah, I'm just much more comfortable with that. I don't want it underneath from the damn fucking from the computer over there. I don't want that. That'll really make me look ugly. And yeah, so that's why I do it. And I appreciate that though. And I have thought about, so they have this new camera. You guys can get me on any subject here, and I am going to bed in 15 minutes. I said that a half hour ago, didn't I? But they have this new camera. It's a one of those. Thanks, Lindsay. They have this camera that they're selling on one of those. Yeah, I will in a minute. One of those quick starter things or whatever they call them. I've gone through nearly a whole packet of tissues. Very, very lovely. Anyway, it sits in the center of your monitor, and so it's actually in a good position. So I've been thinking about maybe buying one of those, with some of my sponsorship money that I'm getting, because that would give me more eye contact. Anyway, sorry, that was way more information than anybody needed. I am going to go to bed. I'm going to take my friend's advice and not stay on another 15 minutes, because I can turn that into a half an hour early. And I got a busy day tomorrow. I think tomorrow's Friday. Is that right? Tomorrow's Friday? No, Thursday. Fuck. I have a meeting in the morning. Yeah, I've got a meeting in the morning. Okay. So yeah,
is there anyone tomorrow?
Not that I know of.
Oh, I'm not up there.
I thought it was going to be Aaron and I, but then we turned that to Tuesday. I will reach out to Dav, see if she wants to go on tomorrow night. But I'm thinking we're not going to start for a week or two, maybe. I'm not sure. But I will check in.
Yeah.
I'm interviewing her on the 3rd.
Yeah.
But we're going to start working together every Thursday. So sweet dreams, Rev. Sweet dreams, Cosmic Rose. Helen, I see you're still in the green room. Sweet dreams to you. I think you saw something tonight again. If you've watched this all the way through, I think you saw something tonight. Oh, by the way, if you're on another platform and you're wondering what the hell we're talking about, go to happs.tv and come find out. It's an awesome place. So I think what you got to see here tonight was that we have to support each other here. If you can sponsor somebody, a friend or whatever. See you tomorrow, Lindsay. Badges. Do it.
Not a fool at all.
Do it. I certainly make no bones about it. If you give me $200, Eleanor's getting 50. So if you give me, I don't know, what is that ratio? I'm horrible at math, but if whatever that
4th.
Yeah, is it not quite? Maybe 1/4, maybe, but whatever it is, but whatever it is, if we get 500, she's going to get that too. So you're helping people out that like myself that can always use a little extra money. But I'm not expecting anything like that. But what I'm saying is that I have used a fair percentage. I have in the last month. So I made $223 the first month. And that was that was tips and some sponsorships and a couple of a $40 hamster and $100 from somebody else. So I don't know that I'll do that this month.
Drop those hamsters.
Drop a hamster on me.
But don't drop a chinchilla. They'll implode.
Ooh, chinchillas are so cute. Thank you, Badges, 25%. So, but I think what we've learned tonight here, I hope the takeaway is we're all here for each other. This is an amazing community. From, like I said, from the people at the very top of this community in terms of views and all of that, they're awesome people. Like everybody on this fucking platform is awesome. And to the new person that maybe is watching this for the first time, especially because they've come over from Clubhouse so quickly, start doing welcome rooms, people. Onboard your people when they come in. I'm trying to bring a certain caliber of person to this platform because the platform needs people, content creators that will bring revenue in here. If you want this platform to survive, they got to make money. If we want it to survive forever, we might have to buy it ourselves because somebody will probably buy it and ruin it. But for now,
but they make money when we give money. So,
Yeah, right. So you just got to share the love. You know what I mean? I'm gonna play some Black Eyed Peas here in a minute.
$1, it adds up. It adds up.
Yeah,
it doesn't have to be much.
And I'm not, like I said, I'm not trying to toot my horn. Maybe I am. Believe whatever the hell you want. But in the out of that $223, I gave 50 to Eleanor, and I spent 100 on coins, and spreading those around. So anything you're giving to me, unless you're giving me $10,000 a month and it make a big difference in my life, anything you're giving to me is generally going either to help me with the equipment that I'm using, or pay for some of that equipment, or supporting the people on here. I'm not going to lie. If I get more than that, I'm going to keep some of it. But I'm just here because I love this place. It has changed my life. Take that however you want to. But 8 weeks ago, I'm an outgoing person. I've been pretty successful in my life, and in very interesting ways. And I love my life. I'm bipolar. I have ADHD. My brain my subconscious is a fucking asshole. I fight with my subconscious all the time. I don't know how I got such a dickhead for a subconscious, because I'm a really nice guy. But anyway, it's just, I have fun with my subconscious. Point is that support each other. It's a great community. If you can afford to buy coins, if you can afford to drop a hamster on somebody, you've made it. You're surviving COVID well.
If you can just make somebody smile, like some days.
Yeah.
I found this community after I lost my wife, lost my home, my freaking people I called my family, my mother and brother are kicking me out. You guys would literally save my life. Literally. There have been days that I was just like, fuck everything. And I get on here and I see you guys, I'm like, nah, I don't want to go away. I got all you guys. Like I got people. And
you do got people.
Work out. Hell yeah.
Shit will work out. And if you've been watching this long, like, what's wrong with you? Oh, well, it's on replay. If you're watching on replay, great. But seriously, if it's your time zone is, anyway, I love all of you. Thank you for watching. Put your fucking cash code or whatever the hell it's called in there, Eleanor. If anybody wants to, to help Eleanor out, get her phone fixed, she needs $90 for the GAC that she buys insurance, but they're still going to call her. She's going to a $90. What do they call that? A deposit? I don't know what the fuck they call it. Insurance, deductible. Ooh, that reminds me, I got to pay my renter's insurance. The deductible. Good night, Helen. I love you. Take care. But just support the community, support each other. If you have any questions, you need any help, if I can't answer them, I will direct you to the people at Happs that can. If I can't answer them and the people at Happs don't need to mess with it because we can't overburden them with questions. That's the other thing about tonight. Have the welcome parties for people, onboard people onto this system, encourage them. All right. Onboard people, encourage them. Have meetings like this that I don't even know happen. I don't give a rat's. You don't have to let me know. You don't have to ping me or invite me. Have these meetings without me. I'm just a guy doing this too. So, make this thing. If you haven't been on Clubhouse, this is an amazing community. But Clubhouse has this secret sauce that I'm trying to figure out, that their community organically does what I'm doing, but now I'm doing it. So maybe it wasn't Clubhouse after all. Who knows? Have welcome parties. If you want to know what a welcome party is, DM me on Twitter. We'll talk about it. I'll explain it. I got to go to bed. Peace be with you, and namaste.
Namaste.